Hey everybody, I haven't made a video in a while, so I came across something crazy, and I've been seeing this for a long time. I've been knowing about this for a long time, but I don't tell too many people because of the nature of the subject. it's so far out there that people would find it unbelievable, and it just can't be true, and you're a nutcase, and so on and so forth. But anyway, I have made so many videos in the past about bugs and birds and certain animals shape-shifting and all that. And in some of my videos, I have mentioned that they use drones. Now, I'm not 100% on that. I'll just say that up front. However, I'm pretty positive that's what it is because of what I have seen. And these drones, you guys, it's so far out there. Like I said, many of you may find this just completely unbelievable. But I'm going to say it anyway because it's true, whether you want to believe it or not. And I'm not saying I'm an expert and I know everything. That's not what I'm saying. But I've been doing this a very long time. And also doing extensive research for a very long time on all of this. So, with all that said, let's start with this. This is a dragonfly. You know, he's coming out of his old body, and you know, like a snake does, they shed its skin. It's called metamorphosis, is what this is called. But I'm gonna enlarge this picture a little bit because we're gonna focus on one little area here for a moment. This area right here. It's kind of getting blurry. But you notice this area right here, and with this little thing sticking up. And do you see this wire? That's what it is, a wire. This is a wire coming out of this drone part right here. It's all cloaked. You can't see this part. You can see parts of it not sticking out, but you can see parts of it in there. This little nodule right here, and this little nodule right here, and that little area is all part of this drone. This is how they fly around. These things are spiritual, you guys. This is the drone part. This is the little wire or cable or whatever you want to call it coming out, and it goes into right there. Here's another one right here going to there. And I'm going to show you another area here in a moment. But all these little wires coming down, all of them right there is what makes this thing fly right here. Here's another part of the drone up here in the head. You can see it right there. There's a band going across it. Okay, and these things have faces all over them. There's a tiny face here. It's got a full body. That's a full little body of a spirit being right there. There's the two black eyes. Here's another face right here, partial face. And here's another one right in here. There's faces all over this thing. Here's another one. He's kind of looking this way with the black eye and a white eye, the nose and the mouth. You see this? This is a face right here. Up above it, if I block that out, here's another face peeking out up here with an eye. And the eye's over there and the kind of a snout. I'm going to show you a lot of faces on here because this thing is just slap full of these spiritual being faces. Here's another one right down here. Here's a face right there, tiny one. There's little bitty tiny ones, and then there's bigger ones. And I'll show you that because I'm going to keep flipping the photo image to the right, and we're gonna look. Here's another. Hold on, let me go down a little bit. Here's another a cable wire coming out, and there's another one right there. It's coming out of this old body thing. And anyway, I'm gonna pause it for a minute because I'm gonna show you some other stuff. This is crazy. Okay, I've got my phone tilted to the side. I haven't flipped the photo yet. But this right here is a face looking that way. You can only see the side profile. and it looks like a dog with a long ear right here. You guys, I've seen these faces. Some look cartoonish, some look like animals, some look just like humans with hair and everything. And some of them look like just like they have sunglasses on or glasses. I've seen them wearing clothes and everything. And I'm not the only one, you guys. I know y'all are saying, this woman is just slap crazy. She's on drugs. She's doing something. But you guys know, no, it goes much deeper than that. And y'all need to know about this stuff. This world is not what we have been told. Here's a face right in here. A black triangle eye. Another, well, it's not really black. It's kind of dark. A triangle eye. I don't know how many times I have mentioned the triangle eyes. And there's the other triangle eye over there with the long nose and the mouth, which is partially covered up by this cable wire right here. All these little nodules right here. You guys, this is all part of their technology. You guys, it's crazy. Like I said, this world is not what we have been told. Okay, I flipped it to the right, and you can see, I mean, that's the drone part right there with the two little, you can see the two little nodules right, I'm gonna move my mouse. Those two little nodules right there all go to this drone part. And when I flip it again, or I gotta flip it 2 times, you're gonna see how it makes a complete square around here. Here's a face right here peeking out. Here's another big face right here with the 2 eyes and the mouth. They use this is how they cloak themselves. You guys, they're master cloakers. That's what I call them. They're masters at disguise. Here's a little face right in here, right there. You can't see this one very good, but here's a face right here with the black eye and the mouth. Kind of looks like a frog face. Because they look like that sometimes, even reptiles. Here's a face right here with the eye in the mouth. Here's a face right here. And he looks like he's got horns, kind of, but maybe he doesn't. There's an eye, there's the 2 nostrils for the nose, and there's the mouth. And there's tons and tons and tons of faces all in here. They're so tiny, little bitty faces. Look at this face right here. You can't see this side of his face, but there's his eye, nose, and his mouth. Looks like he's got teeth in his mouth. Because, oh yes indeed, you can see the teeth in their mouth. It's just crazy. Here's a face right here with the eye, nose, and the mouth. And like I said, there's tons up here. This one has got cut off, so we can't see all of it. But this is a face right here with the red eye and a white eye. And the nostrils for the nose and the mouth right there. I hope y'all are seeing this. I hope y'all are seeing this, because I know that not everybody has the eyes to see. This one is really well cloaked, but here's an eye right here, and here's his mouth, and here's his nose. You can't see his other eye. I showed that face already. Here's one peeking out. Right there. He's got 2 red eyes, it looks like, with black eyebrows. Right there, peeking out. Oh, I don't know if I showed this one or not. Here's one up here. Black eye, nose, and the mouth. This part up here is kind of covering up part of his head, but you can see him right in there. Okay, and then if we come down, you can see how that looks like a dog. Look at this right up here. You see that? With the eye, the snout right here, and the nose and the long ear right here. Looks just like a dog. Then if we block this off, that's another face. This thing right here, looking to the right, and he's got his mouth open. Right there. Here's a face right here. Oh, I showed that one already. Sorry. And I showed that one already. Okay. Okay, next to this one, right, and this one looks like it's got hair sticking up. This face right here with the black eye and the mouth, it looks like he's got hair sticking up on the top of his head. But if you look over here, this little one right in there. You can only see one eye and the mouth and the nose, because that's that's the side view of him. Right there, he's looking up. Here's another face right here. He's right here. Right in there. And he's looking to the right, so you can only see a partial view. You see that little face in there? You guys, they're just packed in here. Just one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. There's so many of them that it makes your head spin. Here's a face right here. And here, this one's really well cloaked. He's right in here with the black triangle eye, nose, and the mouth. Right there. And above it is another one that looks like a dog. An eye, the nose, and you know how the dog's mouth goes up like that? I know he's so well cloaked, and there's his ear, and you can't see that other ear, but that looks like a dog. This is another face, but I gotta flip it in order to see it. Here's a little face right in here, right there. This is all on this supposedly dragonfly, which the bugs, the birds, I've been saying this a long time, the marine life, the reptiles, all of it is not what we have been told. Everything is spiritual, you guys. Everything is alive. Everything, including the trees. The trees are not what we've been told either. Oh, no. But the movies have told us. The movies have told us over and over and over that these trees are alive, you guys. They have faces in them. They have full bodies. I've got pictures, images of humongous trees where the entire tree is just one humongous face, and then on top of that, on that humongous face are billions of much smaller faces, some teeny tiny, some larger. I don't know how they do this. I don't. It makes my head spin when I'm when I look at it and trying to figure it out of how are they doing this. This is, my head can't. Because I'm human and we don't operate this way. But everything is spiritual, even us. We've got an aura around us, and a lot of these things are evil. They're feeding off of our energy, you guys, is what they're doing. They feed off of our fear, off of our anger, off of our anxiety. Just like Monsters, Inc. movie showed how they feed off the children's fear and then the laughter. That's what they're doing, and they're watching us 24/7. Not just outside, but inside our house too. Oh, yes, they are. They're watching us. I find faces all in my house, all on the wallpaper up there. Y'all like my little stuffed animals over there? All on my wallpaper. When I start looking, there's faces. When I look on the wood floors, there's faces. When I look in the carpet, there's faces. And it's not pareidolia. It's not that. They came up with this term, pareidolia and demon face syndrome, just to throw us off. No, people, there's way, way, way too many people seeing all this stuff, you guys. There's videos out there by the tons of all kinds of various people. Some people, on their channels, you'll see them, and they were doing totally different stuff. Wasn't even associated with anything, like this paranormal stuff or anything like that. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you'll start seeing these videos pop up on their page. Like, what is this? What am I seeing? What are these faces? And me personally, I just want to jump on everybody's thing and say, call me, I'll tell you what it is. I know. Well, I don't know everything. I want to, like, one thing. I don't know exactly what these things are. I do know they're spirits. They can cloak. They can go invisible. They can shapeshift. They can turn into different things. One minute they're a bug. The next minute they're a bird. I've got a video about that showing how this bug was flying around and all of a sudden it turns into a bird. And you can see it charging itself on the power lines, because that's what these things do. They not only feed off of our energy, but they get their energy from things like the power lines, from electricity, in that bright light bulb up there in the sky, because that bright light bulb up there is not what we've been told either. It's not 93 million miles away. It's local, and it's not what we've been told. That thing, I can zoom all the way into it with my phone, and there's faces all on it, including the so-called moon, which is another thing that we've been lied to about. Everything's a lie, you guys. Everything, including the Bible. And I hate to say that, but that is a fact. I have looked so deep into that, and I've looked much, much more since the last videos I posted. And oh, yes, indeed, it is a fact. The whole entire Bible, no matter what Bible you're using, don't matter. They're all, every single one of them, because I've looked into it. They're all written and translated by Freemasons. Okay? And Freemasons love Jehovah. They love Jesus. Some people are going to say, no, they don't. Freemasons do not love Jesus. Oh, yes, they do. And here's why. Here's the reason why. It's because Jesus is a sun god. It's all a myth. We've been lied to, you guys. I was in complete shock when I found this out, because all my life, I was a Christian who loved Jesus. I prayed. I was reading my Bible all the time. I was deep into it, you guys. But I did have questions. I was like, why does this God of the Bible seem so evil at times? Why is he just slaughtering everybody, including babies who were innocent, that didn't do anything? And then I found out that the God of the Bible is not just one single God. It is gods, as in Gods. It's El, it's Yahweh, and a whole lot of other gods. In the beginning, God created the world. And then it says, let us make man in our image. Well, that is the Elohim. Elohim is plural. It's not singular, it's plural. It's the I am at the end of Elohim that makes it plural. Eloah is singular. Elohim is plural. And there is oh my gosh, I can't remember how many times Elohim is in the Bible, you guys. But what happened is the Israelites were worshiping, and I'm going to get back to this because I want to show you more stuff on here. The Israelites were worshiping El to begin with. But then, and they were worshiping other gods also. Sun gods, moon gods, planet gods, star gods, and vegetation gods, animal gods, all kind of reptilian type gods, all kind of gods. But then they reworked the Bible to make it a monotheist religion where it was just one God. So Yahweh took the place of El. It was like a transfer. Yahweh took on most of the attributes of El. And if you look up the Hebrew terms of God and the Most High and Lord, it's going to tell you that it's El, that it's Allah, even Allah. Allah is Saturn. Okay? So the Bible is about Saturn worship, sun god worship, moon god worship, star and planet god worship. It's about the zodiac, you guys. That's what this Bible, not this Bible, but it's what all the Bibles are about. The zodiac. It's crazy, you guys. The 12 disciples represents the 12 symbols of the zodiac. And the Bible's been telling us right to our face this entire time, with so many scriptures about God being the Son and Jesus being the Son, the Son of righteousness. Malachi 4:2 says right in plain sight, He is the Son, S-U-N, and it's in all capital letters. The Son is. And then there's another verse, and I can't remember what book it's in. I'm so sorry. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But it's talking about God is the Son, is our Son, in our oh shoot, it's not savior. It's not that word. It's another word. I'm pulling a blank. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm gonna have to find it because I'm gonna have to show y'all. But it's in the Bible, you guys. It's been right in our face this whole time, but we didn't know it because we weren't taught that way. We were, and when you go to church, the preachers only preach about certain scriptures. They don't read certain scriptures that they should be reading. And most people go home and they don't read the Bible. Well, I mean, some people do. But those scriptures, they'll read over them and just not think deeply about it. Like, why did that scripture just say that God is the Son and Jesus is the S-U-N of righteousness? Why does that scripture say that? They didn't question it. They just took it as it is. Just, oh, well, it just means something else. They come up with another definition. I see faces over here. I see a partial face right here. Here's a big eye with the long nose hanging down in the mouth. This is part of this dragonfly thing. And then here's another face right in here. Here's another one down here with an extremely long nose, an extremely long chin with the mouth, the slit in the mouth, and the two eyes right there. Here's another two eyes right here and the nose. Here's another face right up in here. Looks like he's got hair with the big nose. That one's kind of hard to see. Here's another face in here with the big nose, two eyes. Here's another little face over here. I'm telling you. And here's a big triangle on this thing. There's triangles everywhere on these spirit being things. Here's another one right up here. If I turn my phone this way, he's right up here with the triangle eye, the nose, and the mouth, and he's looking upwards. Y'all see that face right there? That's what that is, a face. Oh, yes, indeedy. They're just covered on here. Here's another little bitty face with the two black triangle eyes. Right, my phone's going blurry. Two little triangle eyes right in there. And here's an X right here. It's kind of hard to see, but that's an X right there. I find X's on these things all the time. But you see this part right here? You see, I know it's kind of blurry, but this part right here that's coming off of this drone, I've filmed that so many times on bumblebees. It's kind of zigzaggy. It's a wire coming out of the drone thing. Look, there's part of that drone thing right there. There's part of it. Here's the part, here's the big part, and then there's the little parts going up in there, and the nodules. All these are nodules right here on this drone thing. And there's another, here's more nodules. One right there, little bitty red one right there. I've seen these on all the birds. These, when they're flying, I'll catch them in mid-air, and when you pause the video, these things are protruding out of them. You could see it if you pay attention. Here's a big face right. I think I already showed that one. Sorry. I'm going to flip it. But anyway, I know I was talking about the Bible, then I got sidetracked on this. But you guys, you need to look into it. It's all a myth. It's all a myth. I was in complete shock. I know that's what I was saying. I was in complete shock when I found this out. And it sent it. I can't tell you what it did to me for a while. Because I so depended on Jesus for everything. I thought he was coming back. I thought it was all real. I fully believed it. But you guys, it's all one big fat lie. And it was created for a very evil reason. It's all about control of us. To keep us under control. And to give us false hope. Here's another face right over here, a half face with the triangle eye and the open mouth and the nose. Okay, I flipped it again. Now you can see a perfect square right here. This is part of this drone. There's a perfect square right there with the nodules coming out, and the part of the, you can see the red part on this drone too. You see that? There's the red part on that drone right there, and it goes up in there. You guys, I used to think these were made by the government because there's so many videos out there making you think the government has done this. They're using bugs, and I've seen it in books. The government's doing this. They're making bugs out of drones out of dead birds, and they're using bugs, and no. The government cannot make something like this that completely vanishes into thin air and then shapeshifts and has little bitty faces of spirits all over it. Look at that face right in there. Eye, nose, and the mouth. And here's a round face right here with the eye. You can see the slit in the eye. Look, he's got his, look at that. There's a full eye right there with the black slit in it. And the other eye, the nose, and the mouth. You got, and look, there's one right there, right in there. Oh yeah, I mean, here's a face right here. It's kind of hard to see that one. But anyway, yeah, this is this drone right here. This is what makes this thing work. But this is a spiritual being, you guys. And they have such high technology, it's beyond our thinking, because, you know, we're given these computers and, you know, all that. They have much... It's been around forever. We've been lied to also about when the earth was created and all that. We've been lied to about everything, you guys. Everything in school we were taught. Just one big fat lie. That's all it is. And I just so want people to know. But because of how crazy this all sounds and unbelievable, people just cannot believe it. And it just, oh, it makes my heart hurt because I just want them to believe it. Here's another X right here. You see that X? Right there. I just seen another X somewhere. Where was it? Oh, shoot. I done lost it now. But anyway, I guess it don't matter. All right. Not only is this a face right here with the eye, the nose, and the mouth, but I don't know if you can see it very well. Probably not. But this is part of this drone right here. That perfect square right there. And here's part of the drone popping out. These little squares are these little things right here. Here's a face right in here with the two white glowing eyes. Look, here's a face right here with the, oh, you can see the pupils and everything. The eye, the nose with the two nostrils. Sorry, my hand is shaking. And you can't hardly see the mouth because it's got something kind of covering over it, part of it. But yeah, there's a face. Here's another one up here popping up with the white eye and the white eye right up there. I just saw another tiny face. Where was it? Hold on, let me look. Oh, it's right here. Oh, I already showed that one, I think. But you guys, the more you look, the more faces. They're just one right after the other. See how tiny that one is right in there? Can't hardly see it, but there's one up there too. They're just jammed in here, just one right after the other. Here's one up here. Looks like he's looking upwards with the eye, the nose popping up, and the mouth. Here's another little face right here. Here's another one right here. Here's another one here. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And what these things do, they all work together in conjunction with one another, is what they're doing. There's even faces on this wood. I don't know if y'all can see it, but here's one right here. He's looking out towards us. And up here, this is another one. He's kind of looking downward. He's got the eyes up here, the nose, and the mouth. Because again, the trees are not what we've been told either. I don't know if you can, well, it's not coming out. I'm sorry, it's not coming out very good. But here's another face right in there. Here's more, where is it? I may have to zoom in some. Here's more of this drone part right here. These wires are going all the way up to the head right here. The head area. This is part of the drone right here. But these drone things have faces on them too. every drone has just tons of faces on them because it's all spiritual, you guys. It's not, I don't even know how. David Icke, I know that there's going to be some people out there who don't like him, who wants to say, oh, he's part of the occult, you know, and all that. And regardless of whether he is or not, or regardless of whether you like him or not, he knows what's going on about the Bible. He's speaking facts. He's talking about all the symbolism in the Bible and all that, and how it's the zodiac, and he ain't the only one. I'm just going by him. That's just one single person. There's tons of people out there who know about this and are speaking out and relaying the information, just like I'm trying to do, because it's all one big lie, you guys. And I don't want y'all believing lies. That's just it. I don't want y'all believing lies. I don't want to believe lies. And I don't think y'all do either. Here's a face right here. I don't know how well you... Oh my goodness. That one's really hard to see. I'm not sure if you're even going to be able to see it. It's got the eye, and the open mouth, and the nose. Here's an eye right here. Here's an eye right here. Here's an X. Here's an X right there. An X. Oh, and I want to show y'all something. Well, I'll show you in a minute. But anyway, you guys, I could do this with all the birds, all the bugs, show y'all how these drones are in here. But this one is so perfect. You could see it so well because of what it's doing right now. It's going through metamorphosis, a change. Here's a face right here. I'm circling it with my mouse with the eye, the black eye, the nose with the two nostrils. And then, or wait, maybe this is the nose with the two nostrils. And then the mouth. It's an open mouth with teeth in it. Because again, yes indeed, they have teeth in their mouth. But anyway, yeah, this is the drone part. You can see the red on it with the little wires coming up. It's what makes these things operate. They have to charge themselves. They charge themselves on power lines. They use our electricity. Our electricity. They do indeed use our electricity. Okay? But they use other types of electricity also. Here's a face right here. I think I already showed that. Look at that little bitty face right there. Right there. Oh, here's one I wanted to show you. This one's kind of evil looking. Okay, if I block this area off, so it's just looking here, right here. I'm trying to block that area off. So just imagine he's peeking out over oh, what am I trying to say? He's standing behind a wall peeking out or something. I don't know. My phone is just not picking it up. He's got a white glowing eye right here and a white triangle eye right here. My phone's just not picking it up. I'm so sorry, but he's got teeth in his mouth. He's got like a snout thing with the nose. But that is a glowing eye with a white triangle eye right there. And it looks like his eyebrows are lifted right there. That one's so hard to see. It's just not coming out very well. My apologies about that. I wanted y'all to see these so very clear. Did I show this face already? He's got a white glowing eye. And the nose and the mouth. Excuse me. White glowing eye, nose, and the mouth right there. But yeah, that's the original picture right there. That's how it is. But yeah, the moment I looked at it, I said, oh my gosh, that thing is just popping out. I've got to make a video because sometimes they don't pop out. But because of what he's doing right here, it's popping out right there. And there's the red part of that drone right there. And again, this is not government, nothing like that. This is not man-made. This is all spiritual, you guys. Because we've got rulers over us that I just don't feel, I don't think I'm going to talk about it right now. But you guys, it's not what we've been told. Oh no. It's not what we've been told. All these faces in the sky, all these eyes in the sky, that everybody's seeing, not everybody, but a lot of people. It's all them. It's all them. Like I said, we have rulers over us that people don't know about. but David Icke does, so you may want to listen to him. Whether you like him or not, he is speaking facts about this stuff, and he talks about this world, about how it's not what we thought it was, and he goes into deep detail explaining what it is. So I highly suggest looking into him and listening to him. Here's another thing I want to suggest. This is a very strange movie. I'm just going to say that up front. It is strange, you guys. However, a lot of y'all know about this. The movies put the truth in plain sight. I highly suggest watching this. It's called Fantastic Planet, and make sure you watch this one because it has it in English. If you watch other ones, other channels that has this movie on it, it's going to be in French, so you're not going to be able to understand it. So make sure this is on this channel right here. This is Psychotronic Cinema right there if you want to screenshot it or whatever. It's called, this is Psychotronic Cinema, Fantastic Planet. Okay, you may want to watch this because it'll tell you who is in control of humans and possibly who created us. And I know that's hard to believe. I know it is, you guys. But please, oh my gosh, please don't take my word for it. I always say this. Do not take my word for anything I'm saying. Whatever I'm saying, take note of it and go behind me and start doing your own research. Start deep diving into who wrote and translated the Bibles. Then look into parallel religions. Look up religions prior to Christianity. Look up savior gods. Look up dying and rising gods. Look up all this stuff. Then look up images of Jesus and pay attention to all the suns and the sun symbols that are behind his head. And then look up what is the sun symbol. And then look at those images. They're the images I'm going to show you here in a moment. You guys, look, something's taking control. Oh, never mind. Wait, no, it's not letting me do it. I'm trying to pull up my photos to show y'all some stuff and watch. This is what happens when I click on it. It just goes back. Something's got control of my computer right now because they do not want me showing you this stuff. All right, now look what's happening. You see that spinning? Just spin, spin, spin. Oh, look there. Your connection was interrupted. Imagine that. Let's try to refresh it and see what happens. What I'm trying... Look. Looks like you're not connected to the... Oh, look. They shut my internet off. Well, you can't see it. My internet is shut off. No, look. Right there. All of a sudden, my internet is shut off right when I'm trying to... I was trying to show you images that I have saved because I wanted y'all to see what the sun cross is called. The sun cross. You need to look up the sun cross symbol. Then start looking up images of Jesus. You're going to see that sun cross symbol in almost every image behind Jesus' head. Then look up images of God. You're going to see the triangle behind him. That's Freemason stuff, you guys. And I think the higher ups in Freemasons, I'm not talking about, the lower ones. I'm talking about the much higher ones. And I think it goes past 33rd degree. I've heard it does. I don't know that they're who we think they are. I think they may be something else. All these Bibles, every one was written by Freemasons, every single one. But anyway, I wanted to show y'all so many images I have saved, but they have my computer totally, I can't even get into my images. I'm going to try it one more time. Oh, it popped up. Okay, hold on. That's great. Okay, let's start. I'll show you this. This is in the King James of our Bible. Okay, that's which one I'm using. It's in Isaiah 9:2. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. When you look up the Hebrew meaning of that, it means the morning sun. The Bible's been telling us all along, but people just don't look up the Hebrew meanings and stuff, and they don't look further into it. But it's all right there for us to see. And here, this is in Isaiah 9:6, and it's talking about, for to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Okay, I looked up mighty, and this God right here is El. That, if you look up the Hebrew meaning for that, I'll show you in a minute. It's El. Anyway, mighty means gibber, which is the singular. If it's gibberine, it's plural. And that means a warrior, a tyrant, a chief, a giant. Again, the God of the Bible and Jesus is not what we have been told. Then I looked up mighty men on the internet. And also said, this is what I wrote up here. El in the Bible is known as gibberine. It's the I am at the end that makes it plural. Just like the I am at the end of Elohim makes it plural. There's so many scriptures about the Elohim, and that is plural. Gods, not God. But mighty men means the elite, the group of warriors associated with giants or heroes, like the Titans and all that, the Olympians. And then the Nephilim, the Gibberine, and the Rephaim, it's all mighty men. Nephilim were described as mighty men, tyrant, and often used in describing giants. So the God of the Bible, this is what it's referring to, because it's all mythology, you guys. It's all a made-up story, is what it is. They took a bunch of stories from the past, from myth stories from the past, and they combined it all together and reworded the Bible because they couldn't make it too obvious, and then they gave the Bible to us. And then I went further. You know, I kept looking up gibberine, and this word popped out to me immediately, cyclopedia. And I read the first part cyclop. Then I looked up Cyclop, and it's the one-eyed monster, like, you know, Mike in the Monsters, Inc. movie. This is all the one-eyed monster, the Cyclop. Cyclops, see right there. Here's another image of the Cyclops. It's just the one-eye symbolism all right here. And then I just kept on going. Oh, wait, no, let me get to the next one. Oh, no, I haven't downloaded it yet. Anyway, I haven't put it in my thing yet. I was going to underline some stuff and all that, but I didn't do it yet. But anyway, it's talking about how the Cyclops are the three brothers, Brontes, Steropes, I don't know how to say these names, and Argus or whoever, who create Zeus's thunderbolt, Poseidon's trident, and Hades' helm of darkness. This darkness is talked about in the Bible as well as the thunderbolt. When you start looking up the Hebrew meaning of certain words in the Bible, it means thunderbolt, God's thunderbolt, because Yahweh is a storm god and a volcano god as well. There's a volcano right there. But anyway, Yahweh is a volcano god, and it's even in the Ten Commandments movie, right? They're putting it in our face in the Ten Commandments movie, you guys, where Moses and his soon-to-be wife are talking, and they're by the mountain, which is actually a volcano, and they're talking about, is God awake right now or is he asleep? And they were talking about he lives there on that mountain. They're putting it right in our face, but we like I said, it was just ingrained into our brains, that we were taught other stuff and we believed it wholeheartedly, or a lot of us did, not everybody. There were people who didn't, and I used to call them evil, like, oh my gosh, you're going to go to hell. There's no such thing as hell. There's no such thing as us going to heaven. It's not going to happen. Jesus is not coming back, you guys. Y'all need to look into this. Please don't get mad at me and think, oh my gosh, she's just turned against God. No, I haven't. I've just found the truth is what it is. And so I want y'all to find the truth. And I looked up metamorphosis because of that dragonfly. I was looking up information on that. And it's talking about how they change forms. Let's see. It's talking about transformations that take place from human to inanimate objects, constellations, animals, and plants. It's talking about Daphne, Baucis, and I don't know who that, Philemon. From animals, and then it has ants in parentheses, and fungi, mushrooms, to human, from one sex to another. Hyenas, it talks about hyenas in the Bible. From one color to another, pebbles. The metamorphoses themselves are often located. Oh, well, no, I don't need to read all that. I was just talking about the transformation because they shapeshift. That's what I was saying. These birds turn into bugs. The bugs turn into bugs. But in the planes, and these planes up here and helicopters are not what we think they are either. They shapeshift and disappear too, and they have faces all over them because this world is not what we have been taught, you guys, period. And here's Malachi, Son of Righteousness, with his healing rays. You guys, that means wings right there, and I'm fixing to show you what the sun and the wings mean. And here it is in the King James Bible, the wings, okay? It's got sun. It's got in capital letters right there. Son of Righteousness, arise with healing in his wings. This is talking about Jesus. And I looked up the Hebrew meaning of wings, and it meant, you know, specifically of a bird, a feather. And then I looked up the meaning of sun, and it is shamash, which you know, supposedly Yahweh talks about you cannot be worshiping Shamash. You can't be worshiping the sun. And he's actually the sun. He's actually, that's what he is himself. It's all deception, you guys. Anyway, to be brilliant, figuratively a ray, the sun, the east. And this is another Bible, you know, about the rays, about it being the wings. It's the winged sun disk is what this is. And here's the winged sun disk right here. And it's on water because this is Jesus walking on water is what that represents. The winged sun right there. And it's right there in the Bible. And here it is. It's an Egyptian symbol. The winged sun of Thebes. Okay? The winged sun is a solar symbol. And the solar symbol is behind Jesus' head in almost every image of him. In ancient East Egypt, the symbol was attested from the Old Kingdom, 26th century BC, often flanked on either side with, however you say that. And I wrote, Jesus represents Horus and many other sun gods because it is true, you guys, and it's all a myth. This is talking about Ra. That's who that is, Ra. And Ptah, or Pa, however you say that, Horus, Apis. It's talking about all these sun gods. And look at here what I found. This is Malachi 4:2. And look what they have. The sun and the wings. The winged sun disk represents Horus, then later Ra, then later Jesus. See, all this came before Jesus did. And it's right there in the Bible. Here's what I was saying earlier. The Eloah that's the singular of God right there. That's Hebrew 3:3. 3:3. 33 Freemason. And I said, Eloah is the singular form of Elohim, meaning one singular God. It's been in plain sight this entire time, but most, if not all, of Christians don't know about this. The Bible is full of different gods who reign over different nations. The Bible is not about one singular God, Yahweh, Yel, El and many other gods are in the Bible, which are pagan deities born from mythological stories. And here's another one, just showing you Eloi is singular for the Hebrew name of God. Elohim conveys plurality. Gods. And look at there. See, there's El right there. It says the word Elohim derived from the singular El. And I'm going to show you who El is and Yahweh is here in a minute, which means deity. Oh yeah, it's a deity, all right. Here it is. Elohim appears over 2,500 times in the Old Testament. And that's talking about the gods. Here's an image with the cross with the sun behind it. Because it's been in our face this whole time, you guys. Oh, and there's faces all in the sky. Here's one laying down with the crazy looking nose and a huge open mouth, and the eye looks like he's got hair up here. And here's a big face right here, the eye, and above it is another face, an eye, and a mouth. Here's another face with the long neck and the shoulders and the arms and everything. Because these are spirits, you guys. They're all in the sky. They're all on the ground. They're all in the trees, and the flowers, and the bushes. They're everywhere, you guys. Look at that face right in there. You see it? Here's another one with like a big head with the two white eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Right in there. They're everywhere. Here's another one. Elohim, when it's shortened to El. The characters have El in their names, like Elijah. El is Yahweh. And it's talking about Samuel. There's Michael. There's Gabriel. There's so many names in the Bible with El in it. And there, Yahweh was the only true Elohim. Israel means Prince of El. You see, Israel has El at the end. That's Isis, Ra, and El. Isis, Ra, and El. That's what that is. Here's one image of Jesus with the sun cross behind him. See how it's got the sun rays? And here's the cross right behind him. Oh, it's in almost every image of Jesus, you guys. And here's one with the sun disk behind his head. And then you got the sun and the moon over here, putting it right in our face. We worship the sun and the moon, but y'all don't know it. And this is El right here. El meaning God or deity, referring to any one or multiple major ancient Near Eastern deities. And it's got the sun right over here. Look, what does that say? I don't know what that says. And Zeus, which means Zeus, and God, right there. Zeus loves. No, that don't say loves. I can't read it. Something God, I don't know. But anyway, I'm just focusing on the sun right there because that's what this is all about. Sun God worship, you guys. Talking about the Elohim and Elyon. El Elyon, El Shaddai. Oh yeah, it's names of earlier Canaanite gods. See, it says here too. Singular is Eloi. Elohim is plural. The Tetragrammaton, that's the YHWH. See, it's right there. They worship the sun. That's what the Bible's all about. And much more. Drug use. And y'all want to say drug use? Oh, yes, indeed. One of Jacob's many wives That's another thing that I question in the Bible. How come God is allowing men to marry so many wives? And David is seeking out after a very young virgin child. I don't know if y'all know about that, but if you look up the Hebrew meaning of all these words, you'll find it out. It's all right there, you guys. Yahweh requesting that children be slaughtered. There's chapters about, I mean, not chapters, but verses about that as well. It's disgusting, you guys. And here's Yahweh right here. Okay? Yahweh was an ancient deity. Let's see. What does it say? The Jehovah Witnesses make consistent use of Jehovah. Yeah. And then Jah or Yah is an abbreviation of Yahweh or Yahweh or Jehovah. Praise Jah. Whenever you say hallelujah, I can't say it. Hallelujah. Okay, hallelujah. You're praising this God right here that's got a winged feather right here, and he's on the sun disk right here. He's holding a bird. Here's another religion that came long before Christianity. Zoroastrianism. I can't speak today, you guys. Zoroastrianism. If that's the right way to say it. But look at here. That's the same symbol as in the Bible. Right there. And by the way, the Jehovah's Witnesses used to have this on some of their books a long time ago, and they don't know about it. And here's yet again, the Creator God. He's partially cut off. But Allah, right here. That's in the Bible, you guys. Y'all are going to say, no, it is not. I've never seen Allah in the Bible. That's because y'all haven't been looking up the Hebrew meanings. When you start looking up the Hebrew meanings, oh, look, there's Allah. I can't remember which one it is. It may be the Most High, or don't quote me on that now, okay? Because I can't remember which one it is. But one of them, it means Allah. And Allah, again, is Saturn. And then I looked up names of God in Christianity. See, y'all need to be looking up all this stuff. And then look up who these gods are. El Elyon, El Shaddai, Jah or Yah is the abbreviation of Yahweh. Hallelujah, like I was just saying, meaning praise Yah or give glory, God glory. Walk in the name of Jehovah, Micah 4:5. But yeah, look, there's those suns again. Here's another image with Jesus with the sun, the sun cross behind his head, and he's got the lamb, which is the ram, which is one of the symbols of the zodiac. And the Jehovah Witnesses worship the sun too. They just don't know it. This is Charles Taze Russell, who started the Jehovah Witnesses, and that's his grave site right there. A big pyramid, and it's got a cross at the top, and it's got the Freemason. This is all Freemason because he was a 33rd degree Freemason, you guys. And this is at one of their assembly halls in, I think, Brazil. Don't quote me on that. I think it's in Brazil. But this is what's on the back of our money. And this is showing a drone shot from the air of one of their assembly halls right there. Yep. And this shows the, whatever you call this thing. It's in the pyramid shape. You can see the all-seeing eye right up in here. And this is showing this. Whenever you raise your hands up in the air like that, it's that symbol right there. There's Jesus with the sun cross symbol behind him, and they just happen to have the sun right there beside him. What a coincidence. Here's Jesus again. And I don't know who these other people are supposed to be, but they all have the sun cross symbol behind them because these are all sun gods, you guys, in the Bible. There's Jesus again with the huge sun behind his head, and they all have halos around their head, which represents the sun. Even baby, oh wait, no, that's Mary. Sorry, look at Mary. This is baby Jesus. My apologies. He's got the sun. Cross behind his head, even as a baby, because he's the sun god. There he is again, with the pyramid up top. There he is again. And again, baby Jesus with the sun cross symbol. There's Mary. She's got the sun behind her head. Because Mary is Isis. Just to let you know, that's who Mary is. Isis. They all got the sun crosses behind their heads. And I looked this up. The sun or solar cross, which I suggest y'all start looking into this, you guys. One of humanity's oldest symbols, dating back to the Neolithic, I can't say that word, and the Bronze Age period. Okay, and it's appearing in prehistoric art worldwide. Oh, it sure is. I've looked it up. Associated with solar worship, the worship of the sun, and ritual practices used in ancient Egypt. Circle with the cross inside. Odin's cross, the Celtic cross, and swastika all relates to this. Here's the symbols right here. The solar cross right here. It's all pagan. And look at there. The sun behind the cross. And look at all the different images of Jesus with the solar cross behind his head. Pre-Christian crosses. There's the solar cross right there. Various sun gods, because that's what the Bible is all about. Various sun gods. Oh, I didn't finish the story, I don't think, about Jacob. I got sidetracked. My apologies. Anyway, one of his many wives, and then I'm going to end it at this, because I've been on here a long time. One of Jacob's many wives, I can't remember if it was Rachel, or was it Rachel? I can't remember which one. I'm pulling a blank all of a sudden. Anyway, she was barren, okay? She couldn't have children. She sought after mandrake root. You're not going to see this in the Bible when you're reading it at surface level. It's when you start looking up the Hebrew meaning. Here, I'll see if I can look it up real quick, then I'll end it. Oh no, I can't. They still got me shut down, you guys. My internet, look. No internet. They've got me shut down. I cannot look it up. All right. So with that said, y'all can look it up. Go on Google or whatever you're on and type in Mandrake Bible verses and it'll pop up. But when you're reading the Bible at surface level, it's not going to say mandrake root, okay? It's going to say something else because they don't want y'all knowing about this. The mandrake root was the same thing that was in Harry Potter that looks like a human. It's got a face and everything on it. And in Harry Potter, if you pulled them out of the dirt, they scream. Because they're spirits, you guys. Like I said, the movies have been telling us all along, putting truth in plain sight. But we have thought it was simply just entertainment and nothing more to it than just that. But there's way more to it than just that. They don't always tell everything or the full truth, because they do mix entertainment in with it. However, they are putting a lot of truth in these movies. Like that movie, They Live. That's a documentary right there. But anyway, yeah, look that up and then just start looking up everything I've talked about, you guys, because I'm not lying. I'm not making this up. I've not just turned my back on Jesus. I was heartbroken when I found this out, you guys. Simply heartbroken. And I thought at first, what do I do now? How do you go on without Jesus? How could you be happy? But then you get past that and you realize these jerks, I'm not going to allow them to make me angry or to make me depressed. I'm not going to allow that. And then you come out of it. So all I can say, you guys, is just please start looking into this stuff. because it's so important to know about. It truly is. I mean, the seven candlesticks in the Bible represents the zodiac. I don't know what all this is. You know, this is talking about the sun. The Hebrews, there were the archangels. Michael. Here we go with all the EL names again. Gabriel, Raphael, Samuel, Uriel, Amiel, Zachiel. See, it has L at the end. Look more into who El is and Yahweh is, and just start looking up the Hebrew and Greek meanings to all the words, the names, the places, the objects, the animals, the birds, everything in the Bible. Look up the Hebrew meaning, you guys. You've got to, because this is the sun symbol right here, right in the middle. Well, there's the crescent moon, and there's the crescent moon up there as well. The Bible is about sex magic as well, and divination. It's just all one big lie, you guys. All right, I'm gonna go because I've made this long enough, and y'all are probably ready to get off here. But anyway, y'all take care. If y'all have questions, please ask me. I'll be more than happy to help you out, to guide you in the direction, right direction or whatever. If you get stumped on something or whatever. I'm here to help, because I just want people to know the truth. That's all. There's nothing more to it than that. I didn't want that to be true about the Bible and Jesus. I did not. I fought it for a long time, saying, no, this can't be true. I can't believe this. I'm not going to allow myself to believe it. But the more I read the Bible, the more I looked up these Hebrew and Greek words, the more I kept going, doing more research. I said, oh my gosh, it's just true, and I've got to accept it, or else I'm going to be believing a lie from these jerks who created the lie. And I'm not going to do that. And I hope y'all don't either. But anyway, we need to support each other through this, though, because this is it's very hard to accept that this is the truth. And so we need to support each other in this, because it's not easy going through this when you wake up and find out, that we've been lied to about everything. All right, you guys, I'm going to go. I love you guys. Y'all take care. Be safe. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.